In order to see progress on your pathway to wealth, you must triangulate. My name is Paul Vázquez with Tax Lab. We help people become ethical millionaires. So we've talked about a few times how the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. And that if you know where you're starting from, you're more accurately going to be able to plot that course to where you want to get to more accurately. Because if your goal is here and you think you're here, but it turns out you're down here, when you plot this course and then you bring it down there, you end up way off of what your intended goal was. But even when you start off knowing where you're starting from and you take a step, how do you know you've stepped in the right direction? Right? There is something called triangulation, which helps somebody track their progress in relation to their goal. So how you do this is you have 1 point here. This is where you're starting from. This is where you're going. And then you have a third point. And that third point, you can begin to measure the distance between you and that third point. And if you know where that third point is, you can also then measure the distance from that point to your goal. And then you can begin to triangulate, see how far away from that goal you really are. And having that third point there really helps to boost your ability to understand your progress when it comes to how you're getting to that goal, how quickly you're getting to that goal. You need that third point. So what is that third point when it comes to triangulation in a pathway to wealth? It's your data. It's not just your data, of course. It's good to have data, but you also have to put that data together in such a way that it helps you understand your progress, helps you understand how the steps you took help you to progress. Just like a science experiment, you have to count and take a look at the results of an action that you took, and then see how far it is away from your goal. If you have a theory that shaking the apple tree will release apples to the ground so you don't have to put up a ladder, and you do that, then you want to count the number of apples that fall. If you do that and you just say, well, the apples are here on the ground, maybe those were apples that were already there. So you kind of have to count the apples that were already on the ground, shake the tree, and then maybe count again, right? And that you'll understand the difference and the effectiveness of that strategy when it comes to getting to your goals. And you might say, well, this has worked on other trees in the past. Why isn't it working on this tree? Or why does this tree produce more apples when I shake it than the other? Just an example, of course. But the only way to really do that, to really begin to analyze how well you're doing in your pathway to wealth, how much progress you're making, you have to be able to look at those numbers, look at the results, understand that. And that means tracking. For wealth management, it usually means some type of bookkeeping, where just like a business is going to have bookkeeping for their business, if you are serious about being on the pathway to wealth, it's important to have some personalized bookkeeping, tracking your expenses personally, tracking your income personally, seeing where the incomes and outcomes are, and really every month and every quarter, you need to understand where your numbers are at that point in time, because then you can look back and say, hey, how far am I from my original starting point? How close am I getting to my goal? And how quickly am I making that journey? There are lots of tools out there. You could use your banking app. Your banking apps are beginning to allow you to kind of label things. And so that's an okay place to start. Their report section still lacks quite a bit. but they're starting to do a little bit there. So take a look at your banking app. That can kind of give you an idea. It's not going, I haven't seen any that really get down to, looking at P's and L, profit and loss statement, a personal profit and loss statement, a personal balance sheet, or a budget. They're kind of getting close on those things, but you want to be able to have those things accessible to you if you are serious about being on a pathway to wealth. We help you get those done the very first time, if you haven't already, in our comprehensive consult. We have those 4 stages, right? You do your free 15-minute introductory phone call where we see if our services are a good fit for you. Then if you've decided to get onto the comprehensive consult and sign up for that, then we start off in the discovery phase. That's where we're going to gather all that data from you. If you already have a personal balance sheet, great. If you already have a personal budget, great. If not, we're going to take some of that time to help you create those items. And then, of course, we're going to put together your personalized wealth building strategy. We call that the trifecta. So if, of course, you have a desire to get some help to do this, and you're not just doing it on your own, you want the team around you, you want to build that team, go ahead and go to lab.tax, click on advisory services, and do your free 15-minute consult so we can help get you onto the pathway to wealth in America. Wish you guys all the success. Have a great day.